After 29 years, is The Rock finally retiring from the WWE? I don't know about you guys, but when I saw The Rock come out on Netflix, I was so hyped to see the final boss. That all went to crap the second he opened his mouth and started to lick Cody Rhodes' ass. There's a million different theories going on why The Rock turned face and started sipping tequila with Cody Rhodes. Literally this time last year, he was telling Cody Rhodes' mother that he was going to beat Cody with a belt, and then he literally did. And just when we finally thought we'd get Roman versus The Rock, he licked his ass too by putting the Ula Fal on him. So what the heck is really going on? If you don't know me, I'm Daniel Wrestling, and today we're going to deep dive into the mind and business of The Rock and try to figure out what the hell is going on. Is The Rock retiring? Is WWE playing us? Is Hollywood involved? Or is he just letting other people have the limelight? Okay, so let's quickly recap just so everyone knows what's going on here. Last year, The Rock returned to the WWE and took out the trash that is Jinder Mahal. But what he said before he left was very interesting. He asked after the show when he goes out for a meal, should he sit at the head of the table, hinting at one of the biggest matches in WWE history, The Rock versus Roman Reigns. This was then confirmed on an episode of SmackDown where after winning the Royal Rumble, Cody decided to inform Roman Reigns that he had lost his balls and wasn't going to be facing him at WrestleMania. He then decided to introduce Roman Reigns' actual opponent, which turned out to be The Rock, which kind of felt like introducing the guy you know who's going to steal your girlfriend to your girlfriend. And don't get me wrong, this would have been an insane match, but I don't know, maybe the WWE had been building up to Roman versus Cody Rhodes 2 for like a whole year now, and suddenly it was all over. Thankfully, us WWE fans have no lives, and cried so much that Triple H was like, you know what? Like you on your way to subscribe, right? WWE then did a whole 180, turning The Rock into a bad guy who would help Roman stop Cody Rhodes from finishing his story. This included smacking him, beating him in a car park, and just general bad guy things. This all led us to WrestleMania Night 1, where The Rock and Roman Reigns would face Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins, with the winning team getting an advantage on Night 2's main event in Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns. Now, there's probably a small portion of you who haven't seen what happened at WrestleMania last year, so this is your spoiler warning. Please go and watch it. It's on Netflix. WWE, you owe me money. Anyway, Cody Rhodes wins the title and The Rock disappears, never to be seen again. No. Instead, we fast forward to Bad Blood. Cody decides to team up with his old enemy, who basically tried to kill him more times than I can even count, in order to take down the new bloodline, where they face Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu, which if you haven't heard of before is basically the bloodline if they contracted rabies. As expected, Cody and Roman won with help from a returning Jimmy Uso, but out of nowhere, The Rock returns and stares down the three in the ring from the entrance. Without saying anything, The Rock counted to 3 and made a throat slash gesture, all before turning around and leaving. Fast forward 4 months and we're on the Raw debut on Netflix, and The Rock skips out to kick some ass. Speaking of, please subscribe. I'm desperate. Before Raw on Netflix, I'd say 99% of people would have said that we would have got either Roman versus The Rock at WrestleMania or Cody versus The Rock at WrestleMania, or honestly even both. Now it just kind of seems unlikely. Or is it? You see, Triple H has been going crazy promoting this year on Netflix, constantly saying that the WWE will be bigger and better than ever. And one way I think he's going to do this is the exact same way they managed to surprise us with CM Punk at Survivor Series 2023. You see, in recent years, the WWE has changed due to sites like Reddit and Twitter leaking information that spoiled comebacks and debuts. But it was different with Punk. Yes, there were rumors, but no one was 100% sure we were going to get CM Punk, which is actually something we haven't seen for a long time. And I think that's exactly what's happening here. Shout out to WWE's Cinema on X, because this tweet confirms something I already thought the almighty game was cooking. They said NXT New Year's Eve was on January 7th. There, The Rock returned in his final boss character, unlike the night before on Raw. In this appearance, he said he was 20 steps ahead. The day before, on the debut of Raw on Netflix, Roman Reigns told Paul Heyman that he wants to be acknowledged on the 27th. January 7th and 27th are exactly 20 days apart. I don't know about you guys, but this has me tingling in all sorts of ways. Another thing that makes me think this is all part of the story is the fact that on NXT, The Rock talks about how he talked to Triple H and Nick Khan a few weeks ago about appearing on NXT, but yet we didn't get any leaks for this, showing that the WWE are actually capable of keeping things offline. Now let's not get ahead of ourselves. We don't really know if this is true or if we're just reaching, but surely there's something, right? Well, that's if Hollywood doesn't get involved. First up, let's talk about Moana. Yep, The Rock is reprising his role as Maui in the live-action remake of Moana. We're talking months of filming, which actually wrapped last year. So why is it a problem? Recently, there's talks of reshoots which would be scheduled for early this year, around the same time of WrestleMania. But like you guys, I couldn't find a date. And let's be real, Disney is probably not thrilled about Maui taking a Superman punch and possibly messing up a billion-dollar franchise. But that's not all. This isn't just one movie. The Rock is deep in the Hollywood grind. He's got other projects lined up, and his production company keeps him busier than Roman Reigns at the Bloodline family Christmas party. And here's the kicker. Hollywood contracts. You know those things that have clauses like, don't get body slammed by Cody Rhodes? The studios invest millions in him, so they're not going to take risks for the WWE, regardless of how epic the match would be. But maybe they don't need to worry about that anymore. This segment is going to be kind of hard to talk about, because maybe the most electrifying man in sports entertainment just can't do it anymore. Like me if you don't subscribe.
Please.
Let's be real, we're coming up on 30 years since The Rock made his debut in the WWE, and he isn't getting any younger. Yes, he's built like how your grandmother told you you'd be if you ate your greens, but the man's like 100 and something years old. He's given us some unforgettable moments across multiple decades. Maybe he feels it's time to step aside and let superstars like Cena, Punk and Orton have their last few moments in the limelight. Plus the fact that he's guaranteed into the Hall of Fame could mean we see him as the main superstar in the 2025 class. So what do you guys think? Am I full of crap? Or is there any truth to this? Let me know down below.